In the Feature Manager design tree, select Front Plane, then click Sketch. Now we need to draw a center rectangle. We can find this command in two ways. Expand the Rectangle command in the Command Manager and select Center Rectangle. Or, for a faster workflow, activate mouse gestures and select it from there. When the Center Rectangle command is active, move our cursor to the origin. We'll see a yellow square, indicating a coincident relation. Click on the origin to set the center of the rectangle. Move our cursor outward to define the rectangle's size, then click again to complete it. Press the ESC key to exit the command. Now let's convert the two shorter vertical lines into construction lines. Hold down Ctrl and click both vertical lines. The context toolbar will appear. Select Construction Geometry. This changes the lines into reference geometry, meaning they won't be used to create features, but will help in defining the sketch. Next, let's draw an arc on the right side using the 3-point arc command. Activate the 3-point arc command. Click once on the top right corner of the rectangle. Click again on the bottom right corner. Move our cursor to the right to define the arc's shape, then click a third time to set its size. Now let's create an identical arc on the left side. Since we need to connect this arc smoothly, we'll use a tangent arc. In the Property Manager, set Arc Type to Tangent Arc. Click on the top left corner of the rectangle. Click again on the bottom left corner to complete the arc. Press the ESC key to exit the command. To check the sketch relations, go to Hide Show Items and select View Sketch Relations from the drop-down. This will display all the constraints applied to our sketch, helping us ensure everything is properly defined. If you follow the steps correctly, the sketch relation will look like this. You'll see constraints like tangent, coincident, and horizontal, vertical. Now let's fully define our sketch by adding dimensions. Activate Smart Dimension. Click on the middle of the right arc and the corner point of the rectangle, then set the distance to 10 millimeters. Set the length of the rectangle to 130 millimeters. Set the width of the rectangle to 40 millimeters. Once done, the sketch should turn black, indicating that it is fully defined. Now let's turn our sketch into a 3D model. Go to the Features tab and select Extruded Boss Base. In the Property Manager, set the depth of extrusion to 3 millimeters. Make sure Blind is selected as the direction. Click OK to complete the operation. Next, let's create a sketch on the model. Click on the front face of the model and select Sketch. We need to draw a 3-point center rectangle. To activate this, expand the Rectangle command in the Command Manager and select 3-point center rectangle. Move our cursor to the vertex where the line meets the arc on the top right. Zoom in for a better view. Click on the vertex. Move the cursor to set the length of the rectangle, then click to confirm. Move the cursor again to set the width, then click to confirm. This command is similar to the center rectangle, but allows us to draw a rectangle rotated by any angle. Activate Smart Dimension. Click on the shorter line of the rectangle and set the width to 5 millimeters. Click on the longer line and set the length to 12 millimeters. To set the angle, click on the longer line of the rectangle and then the existing edge of the model. Enter 120 degrees and confirm. Press the ESC key to exit the command. Hold down Ctrl and select both the vertex and the center of the rectangle. The context toolbar will appear. Select Make Coincident. This ensures that the rectangle stays correctly positioned relative to the vertex. Now let's sketch a closed loop. Activate the Line command. Start drawing from here, moving to the left at an angle. Continue following the yellow inference line to ensure a perpendicular relation. Draw a horizontal line extending to the left. Then continue the sketch to the right at an angle. Finally, press A to switch to arc mode and close the loop at point. Now our closed loop sketch is complete. Press the ESC key to exit the command. Let's add dimensions. Activate Smart Dimension. Click on the first oblique line and the existing edge, then set the angle to 30 degrees. Click on the second oblique line and its reference, then set the angle to 6 degrees. Assign the length of the first oblique line to 6 millimeters. Assign the length of the horizontal line to 75 millimeters. If the sketch shifts unexpectedly, press ESC key to exit the command and simply drag the points to readjust. Activate Smart Dimension. Click on the point on the left side and the origin, then set the distance to 33 millimeters. Click on the same left side point and the point at the end of the longer oblique line, then set the distance to 42 millimeters. Now our sketch is getting closer to being fully defined. Now let's correctly position the arc center above the edge. Press the ES key to exit the current command. Delete the coincident relation at the center of the arc. Activate Smart Dimension. Assign the radius of the arc to 25 millimeters. Set the distance between the arc center and the edge to 12 millimeters. Now our sketch is fully defined. Let's cut through the part. Go to the Features tab. Select Extruded Cut. In the Direction 1 tab, open the drop-down list. Choose Through All to ensure the cut goes completely through the model. Click OK to complete the operation. Next, let's draw a new sketch using the same reference as before. Click on the front face of the model. Select Sketch. Let's draw some rectangles. Activate the Corner Rectangle command. We need to draw 4 rectangles on the left side of the part. Zoom in for a better view. First, draw a rectangle on the top vertex of the left side. Second, place another near the middle of the arc. Third, position one on the bottom edge. Fourth, place the last rectangle beside the third one. Once all 4 rectangles are placed, press the ES key button to close the command. All right, let's convert one of the longest lines in each rectangle into a construction line. Click on one of the longest lines in each rectangle. Hold down the Control button to select multiple lines at once. When the context toolbar appears, click Construction Geometry to convert them. Next, let's add some arcs using the 3-point arc command. Activate the command. Click on one end of the construction line to start. Click on the other end of the construction line to set the second point. Move our cursor outward to define the arc's shape and click to confirm. Repeat the process for each construction line. Press the ES key button to close the command. Now click on the midpoint of the vertical line near the middle of the edge arc. Hold down Control and click the edge arc to select both. The context toolbar will appear. Select Make Midpoint to apply the relation. With this, the vertical line is perfectly centered on the arc. Go to the Sketch tab. Click on Convert Entities. This command helps us project existing geometry onto our sketch. Select the edge arc as the entities to convert. Click OK to confirm. The arc is now part of our sketch. Then delete the vertical line. We don't need it anymore. Simply click on it and press Delete on the keyboard. Now let's activate Trim Entities. This tool helps us remove any unnecessary parts of our sketch. Click and drag over the extra segments. We don't need to trim them away. Press ESC to exit the command once done. Now let's add dimension to our sketch. Turn on Smart Dimension. Assign the length and width for each rectangle. For the first rectangle, set to length 17 millimeters and width 7 millimeters. The second rectangle has a length 12 millimeters and width 8 millimeters. Then assign the third rectangle to length 13 millimeters and width 8 millimeters. Finally, the fourth rectangle is set to length 24 millimeters and width 13 millimeters. Now let's position the third and fourth rectangles relative to the origin. For the third rectangle, distance from the left vertical line to the origin is 60 millimeters. While the fourth rectangle, distance from the left vertical line to the origin is 35 millimeters. Next, let's add relation to the arcs. For the arcs at the top and bottom, add a coincident relation between the arc center and the horizontal line. For the arc at the middle, add a horizontal relation between the arc center and the origin to keep it aligned. Then, add a coincident relation between the arc center and the opposite arc to ensure proper positioning. Our sketch is now fully defined, meaning all geometry is properly constrained and locked in place. Now let's cut through our model. Go to the Features tab and select Extruded Cut. In the Direction 1 tab, choose Through All from the list. Click OK to complete the operation. Let's add the final sketch. Insert a new sketch on the front face of the model. Draw 6 hexagons to prepare for the next feature. Turn on the Polygon command. In the Property Manager on the left, you'll see that the number of sides is set to 6 by default, perfect for a hexagon. On the left side of the origin, draw 3 hexagons. Make sure the white square appears, indicating a horizontal relation when pointing to the top or bottom lines. This prevents rotation. On the right side of the origin, draw 3 more hexagons. This time, ensure the white square appears, indicating a vertical relation when pointing to the top or bottom. Press ESC to exit the command once done. Now let's add relations. The 2 extreme hexagons, leftmost and rightmost, should have a horizontal relation with the origin. Drop down the Hide Show Items menu. Turn off View Sketch Relation to clean up the view. Next, let's add dimensions to our hexagons. Turn on Smart Dimension. Set the left side hexagons to 10 millimeters, 13 millimeters, and 8 millimeters. Then set the right side hexagons to 10 millimeters, 14 millimeters, and 17 millimeters. Now, let's precisely position our hexagons. For the left side polygons, set the vertical distance between the polygon centers and the origin to 7 millimeters and 9.5 millimeters. For the right side polygons, set the vertical distance between the polygon centers to 2 millimeters and 8 millimeters. Set the horizontal distance from the origin to 9 millimeters. Let's switch Dimension command to Ordinate Dimension. Drop down the Smart Dimension in the Command Manager. Select Ordinate Dimension. This allows us to set dimensions from a common 0 point in the sketch. Assign the distances between polygons, starting from the left to the right as follows: 0 millimeters, 22 millimeters, 45 millimeters, 67 millimeters, 90 millimeters, and 115 millimeters. Press ESC to exit the command. Notice that the hexagons are still blue, meaning they are underdefined. However, the construction circles inside the hexagons have turned black, indicating they are fully defined. Now, let's fully constrain the hexagons by adding relations. For the left side hexagons, add horizontal relations. While for the right side hexagons, add vertical relations. Now all entities in the sketch have turned black, meaning the sketch is fully defined. Go to the Features tab and select Extruded Cut. In the Direction 1 tab, choose Through All from the list. Click OK to complete the operation. Great, now let's save our work. Click Save. In the File Name field, type Bicycle Key. Hit Save to finalize it. All right, time for the next exercise. Close the current file to start new file. From the New menu, create a new part file. For this exercise, we'll be designing a flywheel, so let's get started.